Hello everyone and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Stevens. Thanks so much for joining us as we visit a new Irving bakery that specializes in cinnamon rolls. We get to know fiber pulp artist Mark Goad, and we also learn about stories and crafts families are participating in at Jumpstart Stories and Art. And in Feature Flicks, I have a review of Christopher Nolan's new drama that's already creating a lot of Oscar buzz, Oppenheimer. I don't know about you, but I love freshly made warm cinnamon rolls. That's why I was thrilled to find out Irving resident Kimberly Matthews recently opened Rollie Pastry Shop, which features different kinds of cinnamon rolls and other treats. Here's a look at what her menu has to offer. There's a new gourmet cinnamon roll bakery right here in Irving.
We specialize in cinnamon rolls in a variety of flavors. There's different flavors of cinnamon roll in the swirl. So say our strawberry has a cinnamon and strawberry swirl with fresh strawberries with a strawberry buttercream. Our cream and cookies, which is our Oreo flavor, has an Oreo filling with Oreo cream in the buttercream with crushed Oreos on top. So we have an assortment of flavors of cinnamon rolls available here.
The idea of this shop came to Kimberly after she and her daughter stumbled upon a store that sold Rice Krispie treats in different flavors. That evening, Kimberly thought the same concept could work with cinnamon rolls.
I got up, got a pen and paper, and just wrote down the whole business plan that night. That was probably late 2018. Life was busy. It was a great idea, but just never had time to do it. And then the pandemic hit. And we had time to actually start working on recipes, started doing farmers markets, and the rest is history.
Rollie was finally able to open their shop for the community in April.
We actually live in Irving as well, so it was kind of like, well, this is where we started. We got our first support, and it's our community, so why wouldn't we open our first brick and mortar in Las Colinas?
Though there are a variety of cinnamon roll flavors to choose from, the most popular of the bunch is their traditional roll.
I believe people want to try us out, see how it tastes, and then they start to experiment with some of the other flavors.
Which aren't limited to just cinnamon rolls.
So we do rolls, but we also do cake rolls, and I am looking forward to showing you our red velvet cake roll today.
Ooh, fancy.
I know. A little bit of powdered sugar, razzle dazzle there. And then we'll put a label on it, and then it goes out in the fridge.
Rollie Pastry Shop offers several sweet treats for individuals and large parties.
If they go to our catering tab on our website, they can see all the flavors we have available. We have over 20. In store, we only have 6, just to kind of monitor traffic.
In addition to those 6 in-store, they include a monthly rotating flavor, giving customers even more of a reason to keep coming back.
For our May theme, we did a Rollie one. And so we want to make sure that people know that you're not just getting different toppings, but you're getting a different tasted cinnamon roll from the swirl to the toppings to the icing. Just a great experience.
Rollie Pastry Shop is located at 3601 Regent Boulevard, Suite 110. Visit hollyrollie.com for more information. Mark Goad is an Irving native who creates unique works of art through a painting process with fiber pulp. We learn more about him and his work in this edition of Artist Profile.
I was printmaking, and I was going to try to make perfect sheets of paper, and it is very difficult to make a perfect sheet of paper. So in the middle of all that, I realized that I could have a lot more fun with the mistakes. And so from there on, it's just, I've let it do its own thing. And it translates into the movement that you might see, the color, the tinting and the dyeing, and the way that the color works with the paper. I've done images of everything. I love being outside, so a lot of this stuff is landscapes and water. I love doing trees. I've done animals, I've done sport art, I've got some rodeo here that I did back in the 90s for Mesquite Rodeo. I have always been sort of self-taught, I always had great art teachers in kindergarten and elementary school and middle school and high school. The city did such a great job of celebrating the student artists, and you can see how important that's been. And Irving never let it go. The music and the visual arts and the many things that a lot of cities could not maintain. And they never let it go. And to see it be so powerfully exhibited in the excitement of all these kids, you know, who will be artists, will certainly be artists. And I did go to the University of Dallas, so I knew Dr. Lyle and Jürgen Strunk and Harry Burtbarsch. All those people were like that. I mean, they all had incredible insight into being an artist, because they were. Fill empty wall space. It's a big one. I like to make people smile. I like to have a story that goes along with these things, and the storytelling's a big part of it, I think. Just to be able, like talking about where I was when I saw this and what I was feeling, what the weather was like, you know, usual Texas stuff.
Windows, Works by Mark Goad, continues in the Dupree Theater Gallery through August 26. It's only summer and we already have a strong Oscar contender with Christopher Nolan's new historical drama. I will say I haven't been a fan of Nolan's last 3 films. Interstellar, Dunkirk, and Tenet were just too convoluted, boring, and loud. However, I am pleased to say Oppenheimer is one of the director's best films to date. In the 1940s, J. Robert Oppenheimer and a team of brilliant scientists traveled into the unknown to create the ultimate weapon of mass destruction, the atomic bomb, but with the good intention that it would be used to end the war. Of course, when using a weapon with that kind of explosive power, there's risk and moral dilemmas, which brings into play Oppenheimer's infamous quote, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Haunting words that travel with audiences throughout the entire film. The movie stars Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., and the list goes on. Nolan has brought in a large cast of well-known actors to show just how many important figures Oppenheimer encountered throughout his turbulent career.
Why would we go to the middle of nowhere for who knows how long?
As I mentioned, Nolan's recent films have been about going big and caring more about the visuals and sound versus his script. This time around, he stays more focused with his subject matter. As we follow Oppenheimer, we get to really know the scientist, both intellectually and emotionally. He has his flaws as a husband, but seems to truly want to help mankind with the making of this bomb. And when it is used successfully, the internal struggle that comes after is relatable, heartbreaking, and terrifying. This conflicting thought stays with you long after the film is over. The film's 3-hour runtime may be daunting, but the fast-paced editing prevents the drama from dragging. Warning, there's not a whole lot of breathing room between each scene, so you'll want to be alert for the quick storytelling. The visuals aren't necessarily Nolan's most memorable, but they are powerful, along with the unique use of score and the disheartening war sound effects. Oppenheimer is a poignant and engaging character study revolving around a true story that all audiences must see.
You are the man who gave them the power to destroy themselves. And the world is not prepared.
Oppenheimer is currently playing at AMC Irving Mall and the Alamo Drafthouse Las Colinas. It's billed as a quirky, endearing comedy about hope and human connection. And there's a tiger. If that sounds intriguing, you'll want to experience Tigers Be Still at Main Stage Irving Las Colinas. Here's a preview.
I need to tell you a few things before we get started. First,
Tigers Be Still is a 4-person show, and it is a comedy about grief, loss, and depression, and what does it mean to move on.
Sherry's just gotten her first job, and this is a really exciting moment for her because she has just been in the bed depressed, and she's gotten hired to be not just a teacher but an art therapist. And so you get to meet Zach, the character that she's working her very first patient, giving art therapy to.
Zach is interesting. He's a recent high school graduate, and he feels a little trapped because he has no future ahead, and he is a little sabotaging. He builds walls around himself and pushes everyone away. And it is through Sherry that he might have a chance to lower those walls.
My sister, Grace, her character is hilarious. She's in the pit of the pits, you know, low. It's something, a storyline I think a lot of people can relate to, a breakup, you know, and how you handle that.
For this hilarious and heartfelt story, Mainstage chose not to produce this play at their usual performance venue.
This is the first time that Mainstage has done one of their Mainstage productions down in our rehearsal facility. This was the right feel for this production, and it's gonna go really well in our space, and it's going to be intimate, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think it is a very special comedy in that it is full of heart. It has you crying in one scene, laughing in the next, crying and laughing within the same scene, sometimes within the same line.
Mostly it's comedy, and it has even though it's about depression, it has a very uplifting ending, and you feel good walking out of the theater.
I'd like people to leave the play walking away knowing that there's no tiger in your life that's going to stop you from doing what you want to do, as long as you tell those tigers, be still.
For About Town, this is Eric Berg.
Tigers Be Still is playing through August 26th at Mainstage 222. That's at 222 East Irving Boulevard. Looking for a fun and educational activity to do with the family? You can explore new stories and creative art projects every month for free at the Irving Art Center when participating in their Jumpstart Stories and Art program. Here are some highlights from one of their recent events.
Today is our Jumpstart program. This is our Stories and Art program.
I like the picture to the story.
We collaborate, it's a long-time collaboration with the Irving Public Library, and we start off with story time, and then we engage in some art-making activities, and every month there's a different theme.
My part today was basically to provide the story time. It's really good for kids to hear different words and different stories and develop their vocabulary, but also to get out in the community and be a part of other people's lives. A variety of people come to the stories at both the Irving Library and at the Irving Arts Center. It helps them learn to listen and to be involved in a group. It's a wonderful thing for many components of early literacy. The specific stories we tell, we draw from our experience as children's librarians using picture books that are designed for a variety of early ages, whether it's for toddlers on up through preschool and even early elementary school.
Why do I like it? Well, I am a longtime proponent of literacy and, of course, art education. So I love how we marry those two things with this program, and I'm always looking for ways to reach out to kiddos and to families.
It's super fun. It gets me out of the building and helps me bring the library to the community in a different format. We love to also promote library services and hope people realize that we provide this at our libraries on a daily basis and they come join us.
I like it here.
Kids are incredibly bright and observant, and it's fun to see that during the story time. And it gives me hope for the future.
The next Jumpstart Stories and Art will be on September 7th at 10 a.m. with the theme Alphabet Soup. For more information, visit irvingartcenter.com. Still looking for more fun things to do this summer? Levi Gomez, our man about town, has some great suggestions.
Hi everyone, Levi here. The North Texas Quilt Festival is back. It's the place to be for everything sewing, quilting, and needle art. Plus, it'll feature a judge quilt show of over 300 quilts. Come check it out August 17th through the 19th here at the Irving Convention Center. Come see a story of legendary activism with Dolores Huerta, Revolución en los Campos. It details Huerta's life, as well as the farm workers movement from the 1960s and 70s. The exhibition runs through August 20th here at the Irving Archives and Museum. The International Hindi Association Dallas chapter presents Hazia Kavi Sammelan. World-renowned comedians and poets travel all the way from India to perform here at Carpenter Hall. Come check it out August 27th at 7:30 p.m. Counting Crows is coming to Irving alongside Dashboard Confessional for their Banshee season tour. Both are rock bands from the 1990s. The show is August 23rd, doors open at 6 p.m. here at the Pavilion. come see Mike Kalambe's international tour. He's a Congolese singer and minister. Come see the show August 27th at 4:30 p.m. here at Carpenter Hall. It's time for Clear the Shelters, the nationwide animal adoption and donations campaign. It helps find loving homes for animals in need. It takes place here at the Irving Animal Care Campus through August 31st.
For more events about town, visit irvingartscenter.com and the events calendar at irvingtexas.com. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us. Please be sure to tune in next time for highlights from the Irving Salvation Army Luncheon, which combined two of the organization's beloved fundraisers. And instead of a book, we're learning about a unique game kit for Fate Accelerated in a new edition of Page Turners. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback. Tell us about events going on around the community, people we should profile, or stories you'd like to see on the show. You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. We'll leave you tonight with music from Kristen Key's TGIF Comedy Nights performance. The comedy series continues with Elliot Chang at the Irving Arts Center on September 22nd. For About Town, I'm Susan Stevens. Have a great evening.
I wrote a song about how bad I want a cat. Thank you. It's angry and feminine. See my leg? It's not supposed to do it. I want a little kitty cat. Any little kitty cat. A three-legged kitty cat. I'll take defective kitty cat. Weird cat that doesn't purr. Smelly cat with ringworm. I got low German, I'm good. One-eyed no-tail, I will cherish. You ain't a kitty cat unless it's hairless, cause that's That's disgusting. Have you ever pet a hairless cat? So gross. It's like petting an old man's leg. Yeah, some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's good. Does anybody have a hairless cat? Sometimes people come to the shows and they get very defensive. They're just like, oh, you can't make fun of them. They're so sweet. I'm like, I know, that's what's gross about them.